Canada's golf industry is lobbying for changes that would make the golf course a more attractive place for business people to close deals. Members of the industry think it's unfair that businesses can take a client out to a hockey game, write off half the cost of that ticket, but can't do that with a round of golf. Joining us now is the chair of the National Allied Golf Associations, Jeff Calderwood. Mr. Calderwood, good evening, sir.
Nice to be with you, Dan.
Sir, are there any tax benefits for a business guy to go to the golf course?
At this time, the Income Tax Act does not permit business people to do business on the golf course, and that's the correction that we're looking for in a very old and outdated section of the Income Tax Act. While at the same time, all the industries that we need to compete with do qualify and are encouraged to do business that way with a 50% deduction.
So if I want to take a client out to one more boring hockey game, I can get half my money back? It's deductible.
Yeah, I don't know about the boring hockey game. I'm sure it's a great way to entertain clients. However, your point is correct. That's one way to build business. And another way that I would argue is even better, take that client to the golf course. And the fact that it's not deductible is just an unlevel playing field and does not make any sense.
What's your sense of how much business would be done on the golf course if it was tax favorable?
Nobody knows for sure, but by leveling that playing field, I suspect it's in the range of double the amount of client entertaining that's currently being done. And there is quite a bit that's currently being done simply because it is such a good vehicle for building business, despite the 0% deduction and that disadvantage. But that would be a big boost to our industry, and that would also be a very strong benefit to those business people who wish they could do more business on the golf course because it is so effective.
Speak to us briefly, sir, about golf as an industry. Is it viable? Does it contribute to the economy in a substantial way?
It does. Actually, people tend to underestimate that. First of all, golf is the #1 participation sport in Canada, ahead of hockey and soccer that sometimes people think is leading. And that 5.7 million golfers playing over 60 million rounds of golf each year generates over $36 billion of gross production into our Canadian economy. And that includes employment of over 300,000, charitable fundraising of over $500 million a year. Overall, that gross domestic product that we're referring to is actually greater than the economic impact of all other sports combined.
You say you just want a level playing field. Are you hearing anything back from government about whether or not they are turning a favorable ear?
It's certainly getting full consideration. I think it's becoming clearer to them as we talk to individual MPs and the Department of Finance that this is very unfair. It's penalizing the golf industry, an industry that's probably the most effective of all for entertaining clients. And it comes down to them having so many requests, and we need to tell our story clearly so they understand it, and it can rise to the top of the pile and get dealt with amongst the various other requests that they do get. So the answer is yes. We're making great progress, and we anticipate this to be done this year.
Jeff Calderwood, chair of the National Allied Golf Associations. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you. See you on the golf course.
Well, the truth is you just might. Canadian tennis star Eugenie Bouchard is on her way to her second consecutive Grand Slam semifinal.